Hi, I'm Steve with the American Wildlife Refuge. I'm making this video as sort of a last-ditch effort. We've been having a lot of problems lately. Since COVID has happened, since the avian influenza has happened, and since quite a few other things have happened, a lot has changed. A year ago, we came here to our new place in Clayton, and we set up for handling the type of birds that people were no longer handling. At the time, COVID had basically just ended, and there were only 6 or 7 places that had any ability at all to do any kind of rehab. We were one of those 6. The reason we were able to do that is because we were given a grant by an angel donor for a lot of money. And we spoke to him and his wife, the couple that gave it to us, and talked about this place, and they said, yeah, go ahead and use it. We wanted you to have a place to do what you do because it's needed. But the bottom line was, we moved out here and we expanded. We got this cage unit here. And this cage that you can see is over 100 foot long, and it has over 20 cages in it. These cages are side by side with a walkway for our people in between them. That way, no matter what the weather, we and the food are okay. Half of each cage is covered by roof so the birds can get under cover. It's an ideal situation for rehab. Unfortunately, when we were building was exactly the time this area got the boom for building, which means building materials went up 5 times. We had priced out this project at $24,000. By the time we were finished, it cost over $100,000 for the materials and the labor we had to pay for people to come out and do what we needed to do. Because of that, we basically used up most of the grant money building the caging. On top of that caging, we have our barn, which has a classroom area, but it also has the area for the birds. And this bird area has several rooms with animals in it. Those are animals that cannot be outside yet. All these animals that we do in all those silver cages cost money. An average cost for a bird from when he arrives to when he leaves, between medical bills, food, and anything we need for him, is about $300. We've been averaging around 300 birds every year. Our big problems, of course, come in the fact that it takes time to do this, which means we can either do this or we can fundraise. I've been doing this 26 years. I only kept a salary for 4 months. Otherwise, the only salary I've taken, the only money I get in is what my wife earns. So we've been a one-income household so I could do this. We have birds that need us. This is a 4-year-old bald eagle. He is one of our rehab birds. And all the birds you see in all the cages back there are rehab birds. We have what we call a soft release pen, which we just released some vultures in that soft release pen. You can actually see that the birds are outside, and Donna's over there feeding right now. The birds are outside the door. That door is open so they can go in and out. 2 days ago, we opened it. There were 7 vultures. Right now, there are 5. 2 of them have decided that they can live on their own, and they're more than happy to not be here. Eventually, the other 4, or the other 5, excuse me, will. This is a 300-acre farm, of which we have 10 acres for use. It also costs us in rent. At normal bird income, that means all the calls we get from Wake County and the surrounding counties, and other people use us. We have had several rehabbers call us and say, I have a bird, can you take it? Because I don't have the facilities. Since we do have the facilities, we've been taking them. But the bottom line is, it costs $2,200 every 4 weeks for the amount of food these birds need. I'll repeat that, $2,200 every 4 weeks. In addition to that, as a refuge, we have some things we have to pay. We have to pay for gas for the rescue vehicles. We have to pay for insurance for the vehicles and registration, of course. We have to pay for insurance for the business. While that may not seem like it's much, it can be over $200 a month if you figure it that way. Just so we can actually take the birds out and do education shows, which we do. We had to separate facilities for rehab and education because of the avian influenza. We had no choice. We could not have just one small facility in Raleigh like we had. Otherwise, if we got in a sick bird, then the federal government could come in and euthanize every single one of our education birds. Birds that we have taken care of for 20 years or more. We were not willing to do that. But now we're at the point where if we don't get money, we cannot take in birds because we really don't have enough to feed what we already have, let alone continuing to do this. So us stopping taking in birds is the first step in, if we don't find a money source, closing the refuge. That's why I say this is a last-ditch effort. We're in trouble. I've been doing this for 26 years. This is the worst it's ever been. There are fewer rehabbers, more hurt birds, and no one around to take care of them. Right now, we've been depending on people like Holly's Nest, Our Wild Neighbors, Claws, and Newell Farms to take in the raptors that we cannot. My understanding is the main local vet that would take in birds of prey has stopped because we will not take them in. So the whole area may lose a lot if something doesn't happen. If every single person that is following our Facebook page were to contribute $5 a month, we would have more than enough to keep going. It would be a consistent income that would pay our rent and our food. If everyone that hears this can do something like that, it might help. But make no mistake about this. If we don't find a way to bring money in, we will have to close. Thank you.